guys, I'm here at the Colorado Rest area at the 180 off of I-76 on the westbound side. It's a welcome center. It's got this cool Pony Express Trail statue right behind me. There's my truck right over there. They got all these TP picnic area table things. They got some other cool statues around here too, but I just stopped for a quick break and to put this video together. Figured I'd do an edited video explaining why I left Randy's to come back to Alan Ritchey. I was put on suspension because of all the damages I had caused between falling asleep at the wheel and having to have two wreckers pull me out with a $6,000 to $7,000 wrecker bill with two wreckers pulling me out. And then I think that trailer might have been foobarred, that tanker, and between some tires that I drug, several of those, I lost count. It was about probably somewhere between, I think it was less than 10, more than 5. I don't know. I didn't really keep track. And then and a lot of that was because of frozen brakes, that I was learning about frozen brakes. It was a big learning experience for me. And then I had 2 speeding tickets, and I guess I had a lot of people calling in about me being an aggressive driver or something. So I don't know. In between all that and who knows what else that I may or may not gotten told of, I cost the company around $9,000 plus maybe, or in that neighborhood. So their insurance auditor told Randy's that they had to put me on suspension. So I was put on suspension, told to get my stuff out of my truck, and I had to find my own way home. They sent me back to the yard, didn't tell me I was going to be getting put on suspension. I live an hour and a half from Carroll. Carroll is an hour and a half from Ankeny, Iowa, where I live. So I had to find my own way back, which I had to call my wife, and she had to leave work early, use PTO time to come get me in Carroll for the second time, because the week before that she came and got me on the coldest record day in about 40-50 years in Iowa. And because I was ready to quit, because I felt like I was getting blamed for a gel up when it was insanely cold. They didn't have anything starting at the yard there at Randy's, and so they felt like I was getting blamed for that in some way. So I just was about ready to quit then, but I didn't. And then a few weeks later, like whatever it was, next week, 2 weeks ago after that, I don't know, but I was basically put on suspension. I just basically said, whatever, after they sent me back to the yard, told me I was on suspension, told me it'd be, I don't know, I can't remember if it was so many weeks or a couple of months, whatever it was, time frame, because I just walked into there, I was giving paperwork, and all of a sudden, I was sidelined. I was just going in to turn in bills of lading and fuel receipts to the lady in the office, and the owner's wife called me in there and started reading off this fax or piece of paper that she printed out that was from the insurance auditor. Basically, I was putting on suspension, and I just kind of didn't know what was going on at first. She's reading off all this stuff, the damage, the damages to the tow bill, getting pulled out, and the tires and brakes and gel. I don't remember. She's just blabbing all this stuff off. So, whatever. It is what it is. So that's why I just decided, screw it. After my wife came and got me and brought me back to Ankeny, we got all my crap out of that van and we drove back to Ankeny. I immediately called Alan Ritchey back, and I knew I could get back because I made sure I knew I had a good rapport. I drove for Alan Ritchey for just over 5 years, and nothing. I mean, I think I ran out of fuel once, and that's about it. I had some chains fall off in the mountains and ruined a couple tires. That's about the only thing I ever did. Is usually always my co-drivers doing stuff. So I'm a good driver, but I just had a really bad run of bad luck and just was learning things the hard way about frozen brakes. I'd never had to deal with frozen brakes in the Randy's. It is, when the temperatures are freezing, it's almost an everyday deal. You have to have a big heavy hammer and knock your brakes loose and everything. So it is what it is, but I don't have any hard feelings with Randy's. I mean, it was their insurance auditor that forced them to do it. I understand that. And I'm back here at Ritchey where I'm probably going to make comparable money to Randy's, and I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to worry about trying to get 4,000 miles in and bust my butt and try to, you know, do all those exit miles and everything. So in the long run, I think I'm better off here, because the day I quit Ritchey, the day that was my last day, or whatever, or that week or whatever, they all got a $3.15 pay raise per hour. So literally, they're making a lot more money. And who's to say whether Randy's I'll make more or Ritchey? But Ritchey, I know every other Friday, I know what my paycheck's going to be once I see what my first paycheck is every week. And then depending on whether I take their insurance after I get through the 90-day period, will depend on whether or not I keep that high of a paycheck, or whether I'm going to be paying, you know, a good chunk out of my paychecks, because their insurance is kind of high at Ritchey. But it is what it is. Anyway, I just wanted to give everybody that update, and I need to get back on the road and get down to Hudson, Colorado, and swap out and go see that thing. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified all my upcoming videos. And I'm going to show you guys more stuff in the future, backup videos and other stuff. Go over some topics, interview drivers. I'm going to do all kinds of things, so look forward to those videos. So thanks guys, thanks for watching.